Hi guys, how you doing? I've decided to make a wee quick video. This is week 5. I'm going to email this video, well not the video, I'm going to email and or put in writing the sort of content of this video as well. But basically the reason for this quick video is because it's week 5. This is Tuesday, right? But let's say it's yesterday, right? So it's week 5 Monday. Okay, it's the first Monday in February. I've been doing this for 5 years, and I can definitely tell you that the fifth week of every block is the week where new people, i.e. newbies, feel that they're probably least motivated that they've felt since it began. Because I've done it for so long, I can kind of know exactly how people's mindsets work. So I thought this video might be quite useful because it will sort of make you realise that one, it's normal, and two, it will sort of help explain as to why you might be feeling like this. So mainly, especially in January, January's out the way. January is the one month where everyone feels motivated. This is the whole concept of New Year's resolutions and things like that. Gyms especially prey on this. They know that they're going to get a lovely bit of extra business because lots of folk will want to join the gym. And they also know that people are going to quit. They're going to quit after the first 4 weeks in January, and there's an ongoing joke that if you see a picture of a January gym, it's mobbed. Come February, it's like there's tumbleweed going over the place, and that's kind of what happens. I've trained, obviously I used to personal training gyms, and that is what happens. The business models of gyms work in that way as well. So most gyms will have a number of members that will be maybe 10 times more than what they can accommodate at any one time. And it's just because they know by human nature that after a wee whim of 4 or 5 weeks, people quit. So the reason you might feel a wee bit sort of, oh, I'm feeling a bit, not down, maybe down's the wrong word, but a bit demotivated about now, is because you feel you've been doing this for a long time. 4 weeks, that seems like a long time. You must be ripped by now, surely. The reality though is quite different. We've been sort of constantly fed quick fix schemes, whether it's get ripped in 28 days or get Jessica Ennis abs 5 minutes a day doing a wee ab crunch workout or something like this. That's one I saw once in a magazine cover. We're constantly told to buy into products like whether it's Juice Plus or Herbalife or Aloe Vera Plus shots or whatever they are. Anyway, they all have one thing in common, in that they say that they can help you like probably lose weight quite quickly. The main problem is that we focus too much on losing weight. And the people that sell these products, or not the people, but the companies that sell or create these products know that they've got a sort of audience there ready to take advantage of, basically, because we're sort of encouraged to believe that good things can happen quickly. When good things don't happen quickly, they take time and effort and commitment. So 4 weeks in, you've been working really hard. You've been doing great. There's no question. You've been doing great. It's been brilliant. The attendance has been excellent. And the effort and input by everyone has been brilliant. So after 4 weeks, you might quite rightly think to yourself, well, hey, 4 weeks, I've been training hard and I've been eating well. So what's happening? I feel like I should be feeling or at least looking a lot better. So what's going on? Because I don't yet. And the answer's pretty simple. Like, you've not earned it yet. There's no other way to explain it other than that. You don't deserve anything yet. Now, one of the reasons I wanted to put this in a video and not just in writing is because it might come across harsh. But hopefully by the way I'm delivering it, you'll sort of understand where I'm coming from. But that's the fact of the matter. Like if you went to do a degree, let's suppose you decided you wanted to become a doctor, and it was a 5 years of medical school. And then a month into your medical degree, you get a bit fed up. You're like, oh, I can't believe I'm not a doctor yet. You wouldn't think that. That's ludicrous, because you know fine well that it takes 5 years of hard graft and lots of studying to get to that point, to become a doctor. And then you've got your pre-reg year and all this of it, or junior doctor year, whatever you call it. I should know this because my sister-in-law is doing it shortly. But anyway, my point is, like, when it comes to like fitness and training, like, it's about the only thing that we don't seem to understand, or we don't apply the same logic to it as we would to any other endeavour. So you need to start doing that, because if you don't, then yeah, all you'll do is get demotivated because you'll feel like, oh, it's not worked for me, or so that I'm just going to chuck it. So you need to understand, if you want to make training and becoming really like leaner and healthier and all this, if that's ever to become part of your life, you've got to accept the hard facts, and the hard facts are that there is no end point, and it's never going to get easy, and that only training when you feel motivated means you're never going to get where you want to get to, because it's easy to train when you feel motivated. That's why people do it in January especially, or they do it in May in the lead up to their beach holiday, because they want to look a bit better on the beach. So it's easy to train like a couple of times a year for a couple of weeks to lose a wee bit of whatever inches or whatever, but that's not what will make you achieve what you can achieve. It's what makes you achieve what you want to achieve is when you train when you can't be bothered, when you feel a bit crap about it, when you're not really feeling it. Those are the sessions that count. Those are the ones that are going to make the difference. And it's doing that over and over and over again, week in, week out, month after month after month, that makes the difference. So you've got no reason to feel demotivated once you realise that you've not earned anything yet. Because if you were doing medicine and you were a month in, you wouldn't decide to chuck it because you weren't a doctor yet, because you know there's a timeline. But if you've never done something like this before, if you've just been sold quick fixes all the time, if you've just decided that progress is always linear and that every week it's effortless, that you should just drop weight X, Y, Z every sort of week, then you're not seeing it for what it is. Like that's a diet. You're in a trap. You're in a fitness and health trap. You need to get away from that. So there's no secret to it. So when people ask me about how can I do this or how can I do that, or how can I get leaner here, or how can I get my six pack showing or whatever, there's no secret answer, and there's also no secret exercise. It just happens, and it happens as a gradual process. Based on behaviours over a long period of time. It's not an overnight thing. You don't get out of shape overnight, and you also don't get in shape overnight. 4 weeks is basically overnight if we're talking in the grand scheme of things. Okay, so if you're not changed in 4 months at all, then you can start feeling a bit like, oh, what's going on here? But even then, you shouldn't be thinking, oh, what's going on, or why is it not happening for me? You should be looking to see what it is you're doing that needs to change, or what it is you're maybe overseeing or overlooking. So the new guys, if any of you, I'm not sure if you are, maybe I'm just making this video and you'll feel like you'll feel like high as the sky, but I would be surprised if you all feel like that, because I just know from doing this for the last 5 years that people tend to get a bit demotivated come week 5 or 6, because the initial enthusiasm and excitement's gone. You feel as though you've earned something, or you should have earned something by now, when you've not, especially when it comes down to aesthetics, okay, because everyone wants to look better. That's essentially the main reason why people do these things. But try and remember what you're here for. This is a performance-based bootcamp, and one of the first things that I said in one of the first emails was focus on performance. Get better, get stronger, get fitter, get faster, get more mobile. You can't expect to do this like overnight. It takes time, and if you do expect to do it overnight and you're basing your goals on someone else, whether it's an athlete or someone else you fancy on Instagram or something, you've got to understand that if you think it's as easy as what you expect it to be in your head, then all you're doing is giving them a backhanded insult in a way, because you're not appreciating the amount of effort and consistency and thought that goes into getting to that place where you'd rather be or want to be. So if you just try and acknowledge it and take your time, it will take the pressure off yourself. It will give you can have more patience, or you should have more patience, and realise that it's a long process. It's not linear, especially when it comes to like weight loss and aesthetics. And try and focus on the things you are improving on as opposed to the things you're not. And you have to also understand that you have to make decisions that are going to help get you to the place where you want to be. It's not going to happen on its own. You have to change behaviours, and you also have to decide on what you're going to do to get there. So, for example, I've asked new guys to keep food diaries. Submission rates being 20%. So what that means is less work for me. Terrific, right? Because you've already paid for the bootcamp, so less work. It doesn't make any difference to me. But I would really, really, really urge you to please start sending your food diaries. It's a huge error if you're not keeping food diaries. You're completely missing the point in the whole thing if you're not going to keep food diaries. Because one, it will make you more accountable. It will get you thinking about what you should be eating, and it will give me the chance to offer some advice. So that's one thing. Ask me questions. I've lost count of how many times I've offered to put on a free seminar, and I never ever get any replies from anyone saying, "Yeah, I want to do that." So I can only assume that you're quite happy, that you're flying, and that everything's hunky dory. So one of the things I want to make clear is one of my missions is to make sure that I can stand back at the end of every block and say, "Well, I offered. I did my best, but at the same time you've got to meet me halfway or more than halfway, because at the end of the day it's you that has to do the work. I just need to help you when I can." So the sessions themselves, I can't believe how well you're all doing. Like, honestly, everyone's doing terrific, and it's a pure really good buzz at the sessions. But my feeling is that maybe some of you are putting too much focus on the sessions and not enough focus on the things that really matter. And that is obviously nutrition's number one, and just general sort of exercise and movement outside this or out with the sessions. So try and bear these things in mind. It's stuff I've already covered in emails, but I think it's just worth reinforcing. So if you can sort of start thinking about these things more, and think, right, okay, let's make an actual plan. How am I going to? What is it I'm going to change in my behaviour long term that's really going to make a difference? Because there's not going to be some magical thing that's just going to happen overnight just because you've been attending the bootcamp sessions 2 or 3 times a week. Like, it's going to take more than that. So that's the main thing I kind of wanted to say. So if you're feeling a bit like, oh, week 5, not much is happening yet, don't think like that. Like, just realise it's going to take time. There's no reason why you should feel demotivated. If anything, you should focus on what you're improving. Within the sessions, that's fine. We ask you to focus on improving your strength so that you've got something to focus on other than how you look. So again, another example, everyone's been emailed the progress tracker. I'm not sure how many folk are actually tracking their progress, because I don't know how many folk are sort of actually taking note of their weights. I don't see a lot of sort of working it out. I think there's a lot of folk who are maybe just lifting the same weights. I don't know. So bear these things in mind. You should be monitoring the weights you're lifting. You should be writing down the weights you're lifting, the reps you're doing, the sets you're doing. And if you're doing that, you should be able to look back at week 6 and see a very clear progress there. That's what's going to help ignite your sort of motivation again, if you can focus on that. So just remember that and try and get out of the old school dieters mentality, the whole, oh, I don't look as well as I want to look. Like, none of us will ever be happy with how we look, so you may as well stop doing it and just focus on the positive things, because you'll be your own worst enemy. You'll be the person that is the most critical of you, and you'll see things that no one else sees. So just forget about it. Have more patience. Just be more patient and enjoy the process. Enjoy the concept of getting stronger, doing things you've never done before. Because this is something you've never done before. If you're new to it, you've never been put under this sort of microscope, and so in the sense that you've been asked to improve certain aspects of things. If it's not quite up to a standard we want in terms of, I don't know, squat depth, for example, you've been asked to sort of like improve it, think about it, and then do things out with the sessions to improve it. We've given you there's endless videos, there's endless ideas. Emma's put up a few good mobility based videos around that. So there's all the tools are there for you, but you just need to be patient with it. Realise it takes time. It's not going to all come at once, and that progress manifests itself in different ways. Whether it's like mentally feeling better, whether it's feeling stronger, more energetic, having a bit more like get go about you. Like, don't define progress by when you look in the mirror. Do you see the start of an ab or something like that? You know, that's only one very tiny aspect of improving your health and your fitness and everything else. I understand it's an important aspect because everyone wants to feel that bit more confident, but it's not the only avenue that you should be looking at. Certainly not in the early weeks. Okay, and if you want to speak to anyone, not just speak to me, speak to other people that have done the bootcamp for a while that have gone through the exact same feelings that you've gone through in week 5 and feeling like, oh, I can't be bothered with this anymore. But the key, you've got to burst through that, because it would be frustrating for me if I thought that you ended up deciding to walk away because you thought it wasn't going anywhere. It's not going to go anywhere yet, because things are happening behind the scenes in your body that you don't realise yet. And it's frustrating because I know it, but you don't know it yet. But eventually you are going to know it. And one day you're going to be like, oh wow, that was cool, that actually did work. But it has to come from being consistent and taking your time to do it, and do it consistently. Probably just repeating myself there a few times. So, yeah, I'm going to put this in an email, but in the meantime, feel free to have a read, or even feel free to ask questions via email, or come and speak to me in person, or let me know you want to come and speak to me, and then I can show you up the stairs one night. I don't mind doing that either. In fact, I quite like doing that. It's probably easier than emails. Anyway, that'll do.